Hi there, welcome to part 2 of the Scrappy Table Runner. Today I'm going to be showing you how to join as you go. So if you're ready with your squares, let's get started. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I joined as I went. So we have our first motif done and we've got the border all the way around the outside. Now when we get to the second one, you can see here that I've done the border around the outside, but I've stopped just before that last corner. I'll come out just a smidge. So I've stopped just before that last corner. With mine, you can treat them as squares and join them here. But with mine, what I did was I treated them as diamond shapes. So I joined them corner to corner that way, and then when we get to the rows underneath, just as a quick visual for you, we'll join like that. So I've done round 6 all the way up to that last corner. If I take out that stitch marker, so I know I'm going to be joining this next corner onto this corner here. So we'll work our two half double crochets into that same stitch. We're going to chain 1 and pull up our loop so it's a little bit bigger. We'll remove our hook, and from the front to the back we're going to insert our hook into the square that we're attaching it to. We'll attach our yarn again and tighten it up, and then we'll pull it through and we'll do our chain 1, because we've already done one chain 1, so this is the second chain 1 of the corner. And then in that same space we'll work 2 half double crochets, and then just to finish off round 6, because now that's definitely attached, we're going to do 7 half double crochets across the last 7 stitches, so 1 in each stitch. And then we'll slip stitch to join. We'll snip our yarn and we'll fasten off. And that's our first square joined. Now I find it easier to do whole rows. Although if you find you made it too short and you want to add extras onto the end, that's easy enough done at the end. But especially if you're new to this technique, work one row at a time and then the next row, and it'll be much easier for you. So I'm just going to add one more diamond onto this sample for you. Out that stitch marker. So I'm up to the corner again on this one. You can see I've gone all the way around. I've only got my last corner and the last 7 stitches to work on round 6. So we'll start by doing 2 half double crochets in that next stitch to start the corner, and then instead of chaining 2 straight away, we're going to chain 1, pull up the loop, take our hook out from the front to the back of the corner that we're attaching it to, we're going to attach our working yarn back onto the hook, tighten it up and pull it through that chain 2 space, and then we'll chain 1, which will finish the chain 2 in the corner, and then we'll work 2 half double crochets in that same stitch to finish off the corner, and then we'll work a half double crochet in each of the last 7 stitches. Now, the reason that I attach the last corner for this row is because, as you can see, once you start attaching them, it becomes trickier to maneuver and manipulate what you're doing. So I just like to make sure I have the least amount of stitches left after I've attached my corners together. There we go. And then I'll cut that yarn and fasten off. And that's my first row done for my little mini runner. For the second row, you can see we're going to be attaching 1, 2, 3 corners. So if we're working this square, we'll be attaching 1, 2, 3 corners. So for this one, I've worked up this square. Now you can see I've worked my first corner. Oops, sorry. You can see I've worked the first corner. So I've started round 6 here. I've gone up to the first corner. I've worked that, and then I've done the 14 half double crochets. So I'm up to the second corner. So you can see this one's going to slot in there. So the last 3 corners are going to be joined. So if I take out that stitch marker, we'll start that corner. So we'll do 2 half double crochets, we'll chain 1, pull up the loop, and then we'll insert our hook in the chain 2 space of the corner we want to attach it to. Add the hook back onto the yarn and pull through and chain 1, and then we'll do 2 half double crochets in the same stitch that we worked the first 2, because we're still working that corner, and then we'll half double crochet in the next 14 stitches. That's 13, 14. And then this corner, you can see we'll be attaching it here. Now what I've found when I was designing this is that if you try to attach it through both of them, it's going to be a bulky join. So I attach it through the one in the middle. So for me, that's the white one. It still attaches fine, it's just as secure. So we'll work the first part of the corner, so we'll do 2 half double crochets in that same stitch. We will chain 1, pull up our loop from the front to the back of my white square corner. I'm going to insert my hook, attach the working yarn and pull it through, and then chain one, and then I will half double crochet two in the same space so that I've finished off my corner. And then we're going to half double crochet in the next 14 stitches. Oh. 14, and then we know we need to attach this corner that we're about to work to this square. So we'll start our corner, so we'll work 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. We'll chain one, pull up a loop, insert our hook from the front to the back of the corner that we're attaching it to. Place your working yarn, pull through and chain one, and then 2 half double crochets in that same stitch. And because that is the last corner, we just need to half double crochet across those last 7 stitches. And then slip stitch to join, snip and fasten off. And you can see that that's joined. It's not going anywhere, and it's very cute. So then we'll work the next square. Okay, so now we need to put the square in here. So for this particular example, I'm going to do 3, 2, 3. So here is the square that I've made for there. I'll take out that stitch marker. So again, we're going to be attaching 1, 2, 3 corners. So I've worked up to my next corner. So I've worked the first corner as I have with the previous motifs, and now I need to work the second corner. So in that next stitch I'm going to half double crochet 2 into that same stitch, chain 1, pull up my loop, and then I am going to, now before I do it, with this I found that it's best, and it looks nicer, to attach it, your working yarn, to the corner at the top, so the white corner rather than the blue corner, so we don't end up with a little bit of a gap there. So I'll attach my yarn to my hook, pull it through, chain 1, and then I will half double crochet 2 in that very same stitch to finish off that corner, and then we'll half double crochet in the next 14 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14, and then the next stitch is going to be our corner, so we'll do 2 half double crochets, we'll chain 1, and then for this one I'm going to attach it to the blue. So from the front to the back, attach your working yarn, pull it through and chain 1, and then 2 half double crochets in that exact same stitch just to finish off the corner. And then half double crochet in the next 14 stitches, and then when we get to the next corner we'll work our 2 half double crochets and we'll chain 1 and pull up a loop. Now if I just pop this the right way so I can see where I'm going, so I need to attach this corner to this corner, so I'll insert my hook from the front to the back of that chain 2 space, attach my working yarn and pull it through, and then chain 1. And then if I turn it around so I can see what I'm doing, so to finish off that corner we're going to do 2 double crochets in that same stitch, and then half double crochet, oops, in the last 7 stitches. And then we'll cut our yarn and fasten off. So this is where I am so far. So for my last row I've got 3 more squares or motifs that I would like to attach to this. So I'm going to pop this one here, oops. So you can see I've worked the first 2 corners of round 6 because I know that the 3rd and the 4th corner are going to be joined there. So if I take out that stitch marker, so I've just worked that 2nd corner, so now I'm going to work 14 half double crochets, and then I'm going to work my corner, so I'll do 2 half double crochets in that same stitch. I'm going to chain 1 and then bring up the loop, insert my hook from the top to the bottom of the stitch at the top, and chain 1, and then 2 half double crochets just to finish off that corner stitch, and then I'm going to work half double crochet in each of the next 14 stitches. And then I'm up to my last corner, which will be joined to this corner here. So we're going to work 2 half double crochets in that same stitch, in the next stitch, chain 1 pull up a loop, insert our hook into the corresponding corner space, add your working yarn back onto your hook, pull through, chain 1 and finish with 2 half double crochets in the same stitch that you were working into, and then half double crochet into the last 7 stitches. Then we'll slip stitch to join, snip our yarn and fasten off. So to finish my, if I come out a bit, to finish my little mini table runner, I'm going to add another square here and another square here, so I have 3 rows. One with 3 squares, one with 2 squares, one with 3 squares, and then we will come back and work the border. So I hope you found that tutorial useful. If you have, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell icon to be notified of any updates I make and videos that I add, and I shall see you soon. I'll pop a link in the description for the final part of this table runner, which is the border. See you soon, guys. Bye.